Hi, welcome back. Today we're doing 5.4, which is basically the same thing as 5.3. We're solving linear systems by elimination, but sometimes the elimination doesn't always work out, so we have to multiply things first. It's just a little quick add-on. So yesterday we talked about eliminating problems when you had two of the variables the same. So for example, we've got 5x plus 2y equals 16, 3x minus 4y equals 20. So what we're seeing here is that nothing overlaps. However, if I take the top problem times 2 times everything, I'm going to end up with those 4s that I'm going to be able to cancel everything out, and I can plug it back into check. So here we go. I'm going to look first and find out if there's something that's easy for me to multiply. So I could take the top number times something so that the bottom cancels out. But what I really want to do is I want to get that 2 to equal a 6. So I'm going to take the bottom times 3. That means on the top I've got a 6x minus 2y equals 1. And on the bottom, my new equation is going to be a negative 6x. That's going to be plus a 9y, and that's going to be minus 15. You have to make sure you distribute to everything that's there in order to make sure that it's equally balanced and your equation does not change at all. Okay, so now you're going to see that the 6's cancel. Now remember, I like to add first, so that's what we really want to do is we want to get one that's opposite of each other. So I've got 6x and negative 6x, those cancel. I've got a negative 2 plus 9, and that is going to give me a 7y. And then I've got a 1 and a negative 15, which is going to give me a negative 14. Well, I just have to divide by 7, and I get that y equals a negative 2. Again, I set up my ordered pair, so I've got my negative 2 for y, and I just take it and plug it back in for y. It doesn't matter which one you plug it in for. Let's see, let's go with the top. So I'm going to plug in a negative 2 right here. So I now have 6x minus 2 times a negative 2 equals 1. So that means 6x plus 4 equals 1. I'm going to move my 4 over. So I'm going to subtract 4. So I'm going to have 6x equals then a negative 3. And I'm going to have to divide by 6. Ooh, and then that's going to be a fraction. But it's going to reduce down. So I have a negative 1/2. Again, if you're not sure about it, always feel free to plug it in. Negative half of 6 is negative 3. That gives me 4. That cancels out. You could do a negative half of 2. That would be a positive 1. And a negative 6, which then gives me a negative 5. Okay, next one. So this one doesn't have anything that's easy to work through. I don't have 2 doesn't go into 7, 9 doesn't go into 12. So I have to start thinking outside the box. Let's see, I could take this whole top number times 7, and I could take the whole bottom number times 2. And not just 2, I'm going to take it times a negative 2 and show you why. So I'm going to take the top number times 7. So that's going to be 14x minus 63y equals 7. And on the bottom, the reason I'm taking it times a negative 2 is so that that 14 becomes negative and I can add it and I don't have to subtract. So I then have a negative 14x, that's going to be plus 24y, and that's going to equal a negative 46. Okay, pull out my calculator here, and just so I don't mess anything up, I'm going to add these together. I have a negative 63 plus 24, which is going to give me a negative 39y. And then I have, that's going to give me another negative 39. So y is going to then equal 1. Okay, so in my ordered pair, y is 1. And I can plug it back into the original, or I could plug it back into my new equations. It's totally up to you. I like to plug into the original because the numbers are smaller and I can do it all in my head. So I'm going to plug in a 1 right here for that y. So I have 2x, that's going to be 9 times 1, which is just 9, is going to equal 1. Move that over so I get 2x equals 10 and x equals 5. As always, plug it back in to check. 7 times 5 is 35, minus 12 is 23. Perfect. Okay, last equation. Okay, so I'm going to look and see, I can take the top number times 2. I'm going to put it over here so I don't ruin my screen. Okay, so the top is going to be 4x minus 6y equals 12. Oh, okay, so this is going to be tricky. Actually, I'm going to take it times a negative 2, so that's going to be a negative 4, a positive 6, and a negative 12. Okay, now what you're going to see is my 4x's are going to cancel, and my 6y's are going to cancel. Shoot. And then I have 0 equals 12 minus, or that's going to be just 12. That's not a true statement. That would mean no solution. On a graph, remember what that looks like? Oh, parallel lines. Got it. No solution because they're never going to cross. If I would, in fact, have the same solution in both of them, where everything cancels, where it would be, let's just pretend that this was a negative 24 and that was 0, that, again, would be infinite solutions because 0 does, in fact, equal 0. Okay? On Google Classroom, you will see that there is a quizzes that's posted for extra practice. In your worksheet, you're only going to do numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Okay? You're going to enter your answers into a Google form posted on Google Classroom and make sure you follow directions so that they're answered correctly. And that's all you have to do for today. Enjoy it. We're taking a quiz when we get back, so make sure that you're prepared for that. Watch the videos again if you have to. Make sure you know what's going on. Have a great Thanksgiving.